morning, ladies and gents. This is week number 9, if I'm not mistaken, online learning. Guys, I think you're coming back soon. I'm hoping another week or two and you're back. Okay, we finished with finance. I'm hoping the test wasn't too difficult. We're moving to stats. Again, pretty easy topic, if I think so. It's a lot of work, but it's kind of not very taxing to the brain, okay? You got to do it, the questions are long and you have to process them, but it's not very, it doesn't strain you too much. It can be actually quite therapeutic, I think. So, we're going to add a few things for what we've done last year, but not hectic. Again, not a huge jump. Today is really just reminding you stuff we've done last year. So we're going to work with frequency tables. Just in a word, what is stats? It's basically trying to get information, okay? Lots of information, okay? And try and make sense out of it, okay? So, just to keep it up to date, what's happening now, you might have heard these tests called serological tests. So you've got your normal coronavirus test to see if you're positive or negative. But there's another thing called a serological test, which tests to see not if you are sick with corona, it's to see if you've got the antibodies inside you. In other words, you were infected, corona did enter your, virus entered your system, but you developed antibodies, so now you're immune to it. And why people want to know because, I'm sure you've also thought about it, okay? There's probably way more people who got the virus than the actual people who get sick, okay? Most of us who get that virus eventually, we don't even feel sick. So these tests are supposed to see if you've got these antibodies in there. Why do we want to do it? If we know how many people actually are already immune to the disease, then it can really affect, for example, whether we should open schools or not, okay? So any kind of work that scientists do in this domain involves testing lots of people will have to involve stats. Okay, so I'm going to go through one example. It's in page 219. Okay, the exercise 221, but I'm going to go through example 1 very quickly. I think it's really easy. And I've got these numbers. I recommend you read. Just read. Take pause with me now. Read example 1. Okay, and it's about, I think, use of phones. Okay, so there's a prediction that most people who are going to buy smartphone in the next few years are going to be the 50-year-old something. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of numbers. And they represent the people who bought a phone this year, or something like that. So 16-year-old, 17-year-old. Okay, so they tested, I can't really, 30 people, and they wrote their ages. Now, what we asked to do then, write frequency table. What is a frequency table? So I want to find out of all these people. Okay, I didn't draw. I just made up my own numbers. It's not from the book. But I wrote down how many of them are the age of 10 to 19. Okay, how many of them are between 20 to 29? How many of them are between 30 to 39? This is called the frequency table. So you've got the age group here on the left. Then you've got a tally. What is a tally? Okay, as I go around between 10 to 19, I just count how many fit into that bill. So that's 1, 2, 3, and I cross them as I go along. So I don't have to go through them again. 1, 2, 3. That's it, 3. So every time I do a line here, you can do that tally line there. And then you say 3. 20 to 29, okay. And it's including 29. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here we go, we got 4. And eventually what I really need, the tally is just to help us, eventually what I need is the age groups, okay, and the frequency, okay. From that we're going to draw that graph. That's where we're heading. Now, not really in this case, because I don't have that information, but in the case that if you take all the information that their book gave you, you can do another frequency table like this. Where here, instead of my age group I bunch them between 10 to 19, 20, 29, and so on, I actually say, all right, how many people are 16? Okay, so there's 1. How many 17? 2. How many 18? 0. How many 19? 0. Okay, so you can play with the age group. Do you want to have between 10 to 19 or just 10, 11, 12, 13, or maybe between 10 and 29. It just depends on the data that you have. Okay? So you think that's clear, hopefully clear about how to draw a frequency table. Okay? Just to let you know, in tests and stuff like that, you have to have that middle tally column. Okay? At least in our age. Later on, maybe I think we relax it a bit, but for now, do that tally column in the middle. Okay, I'll pause you and we'll go to graphs. Okay, so now when we want to take all these tables and turn them into a graph, there's usually two options that I'm going to go. Either stem and leaf or bar graph. Normally we will do a bar graph, but we teach you also stem and leaf. So just a reminder, you did learn that last year. What is stem and leaf, okay? So I really should have kept that frequency table, but never mind, okay? The stem and leaf, in the leaf you've got, in the tree you've got the stem, and then it spreads out into the leaf. So the stem is like, in this case will be the tens. There you go. 16, that's 1 10. 17 is 1 10. 29 is 2 tens. Okay, so I'm writing the 10. What it can be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I've got all the way up to 50. Okay, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then the leaf is basically the units. Okay, so the lowest one, okay, is 16. Okay, so I'm going to write 6. Okay, now after 16, I've got 17. Okay, so I'm going to write comma. Yeah, we don't even need comma. You can, we don't have to. You write 7. Now, because I've got two 17s, I'm going to write the 7 twice. Okay, just to show that it repeats itself. Do I have any 18? No. 19? No. Okay. Now, moving to the 20s. Right, which one is the lowest 20? It is quite useful, and later you will have to actually arrange your data in order, ascending order, from the lowest to the highest. Right now, you don't have to, but later you will. Okay, so the lowest one I've got is, I don't have 20, but I've got 21, so I'm going to write 1. Okay, you see 21. 22, no. 23, no. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I've got 28, so I'm going to write 8. 29. 30. What 30s do I have? Okay, I've got 32, 2 34, so I'm going to write 32, and then I've got 2 34s, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. Okay? What is useful about the stem and leaf is eventually I can start seeing which age group has the highest weight, okay? So right now they all seem to be equal. I've got 3 in their teens, 3 in the 20s, and 3 in their 30s. Okay, that's about stem and leaf. Okay, I'll just pause you for a second. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys, you had to watch me do that. Didn't press play. Okay, so we're gonna move on now. So I've got frequency table. Okay, so when you write frequency table, I think it's pretty clear. Okay, number of smartphone users. You must have a title. So in our frequency table, you have to write the title, the number of smartphone users in their different ages. Okay, now I've got to, x-axis is always going to be the age group or the classes, okay? And the frequency is the number of people, and then will be your y-axis, okay? Bar graph, okay, the lines shouldn't be touching each other, okay? And I'm going to come for that in a second. Why the line? Why do we use a bar graph right now? Okay? So the age group, it depends what age group you decided. If you decided to have for each age, 16, 17, 18, 19, then that's what you do. If you decided to go from 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, then you do that. It's up to you. Okay? Now, why are the bars don't touch each other? That's to do with the fact that the data that we've got here is discrete. Okay? What does it mean, discrete? Discrete means that it comes in steps. So if I go back to this, it will be easier to understand this. Okay? If I work 16, 17, 18. Okay? Now, a person can either be 16 or he can be 17. But he can't be in between. Okay? You might tell me, yeah, but I'm 16 and a half. That's in between 16 and 17. True, but in this survey, if you're 16 and a half, what age are you? What age are you saying you are? You're 16. You see what my point is? So there's 16 or 17. There's nothing in between. It's not continuous data. Okay? It's not continuous data. Okay? Whenever it's discrete data, it's either that or that, we use bar graph. Wherever it's continuous data, okay, where it can be in between, okay, then they will be touching each other. Right, I'll pause now. Okay, you're going to do exercise 1, easy stuff, nothing to worry about, and I'll see you in lesson 2.